What's going on, Hermanites? As you can probably tell, I'm super soaked right now. I just got back from a run as part of the new routine I've been doing lately, and I promise you in the Sunday update that I'll update you with what I'm doing for my current routine. Now, as far as the run goes, the run was only like 4 miles. It's about 2.5 miles down this path that I run, and 2.5 miles back. And it was a great run. I've been using still those New Balance Minimus shoes that I like to wear because it's basically like having, no padding on your feet. And I will say that it definitely makes an impact on my running style. My calves just like burn like crazy every time I go for a run. They're getting used to it, but my feet actually feel stronger. I don't feel as wobbly if I hit a pothole or a random rock. Ankles feel really strong, so it's good. And the run was really good today, except, I'm on the last, I'd say, if I had to call it anything, 0.4 miles, and some dude runs by me on the other side with, a backpack on, and it's bouncing off his back. And I'm just like, what the hell, here I am, thinking I ran awesome today. This dude's running with a backpack on. So I just tell myself that it was a light backpack, and he wasn't running as far as I was. But anyway, so, back to kind of goals and routines and what you're trying to do, even what I'm trying to do, and trying to find the right routine and goal can sometimes be difficult because there's a lot of things out there that you can do. For example, maybe you want to gain muscle, maybe you want to gain strength, maybe you want to gain endurance, maybe you want to train for a fun run or a marathon or triathlon, or maybe you want to be able to jump higher or get ready for a sport, There's just so many goals out there, and if, you guys are like me, you want to do 5 to 10 of them at a time, which just, it is possible, but your results will obviously vary to a significant degree depending on how much of your time you involve in one specific goal as opposed to doing a bunch at once, It reminds me of one of my favorite games. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. Probably one of the best RPG games ever made, top 5, Super Mario RPG for Super Nintendo. This game is amazing. But you were conflicted because you had 3 power-ups that you could choose to level up each time you had enough points to level up your character. You could choose to level up your star power, which would increase your super jumps and stuff. You could choose to level up your regular punches, or you could choose to level up your health, And what do you do? Because if you're like me, you want all of them to be maxed out. So what I would do in the game is every time I leveled up, I would just go 1, 2, 3, start over, 1, 2, 3, start over, 1, 2, 3. So obviously, taking forever to level up the character. Or, maybe some of you guys just leveled up all your star power first, and then you went after your health, or then you went after your regular punches. What does that mean? It means your super jumps are up here, but if your health is down here, you're gonna die pretty quick. So what do you do when you have all these choices? Well, in the case of Super Mario RPG, you do what I did. You stay in World 1 for 6 to 8 hours, you beat the crap out of as many Goombas as you can, you level up Mario and Mallow to level 22 to 25, and you go to fight the croc dude, and you get that wallet back in one hit because you super jumped on his head 30 times. And then you go through the rest of the game pretty easy as well. Or you just wait till you get Geno, and then you time that star disc just right to get 9,999 hit points every time you kill the character. Now, for those of you who aren't gamers, I'm speaking probably gibberish, but for those of you who are, you're probably saying, damn, that's a good idea. I'm gonna get that game. But back to real life, because in real life, we don't have star points and power-ups and all this good stuff. All we have is our goals and the ways to reach them. So my goal for the last 2 months was strength gain. So I was working really hard on my strength gain. I was working on myofibrillar hypertrophy. It's a term you guys can look up. It's actually a video putting together right now. You guys are gonna like it. What that basically is you're working with rep ranges that are shorter, 1 to 6 repetitions, and you're working on creating more contractile protein bonds in your muscle tissue. And what that basically means is the more of those bonds you have, the harder of a contraction you can make, which doesn't necessarily equate to, size gain. That's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. We're actually increasing sarcoplasmic volume of the cell in the muscle. To train for size, you need to be doing a slower tempo, preferably 2 to 4, and then you need to work on rep ranges of probably 8 to 12, depending on the muscle is how many sets you would do, for strength, there's different exercises as well, and we can get into that stuff later. I'm just kind of giving you an overview of these different goals. Obviously, muscle endurance, you're training high rep ranges, 15 plus reps per set on the exercises you're doing. So there's different ways to hit these goals, So for the last couple months, I've been strength training, I've been doing just, you know, low reps. I got my strength pretty high, but now I'm switching more towards muscle gain. I want to increase the size of my shoulders, my traps a little bit, and I want to work on some other areas as well, but I also want to stay lean, so I'm focusing on that meal plan. I'm making sure that I'm getting the right amounts of protein, carbs, and fat every day. I'm knowing my macros every single day, and I'm making sure that when I go to the gym, focusing on that 2-2-4 tempo and that, you know, around 8 to 12 rep range. And as far as supplementation is concerned, you know, I'm sticking to my BSN supplements. As you guys know, I'm a BSN athlete, so what I use is, you know, to help offset, you know, muscle soreness and fatigue during my workouts, I use the Amino X. For my pre-workout, I use the Hyper FX, and the reason why I switched from Hyper FX from NO Explode is just because the Hyper FX contains peak ATP, which kind of gives you the same energy, well, not kind of, it gives you the same energy effects of creatine without the water retention, and it's also the first pre-workout that also works as a thermogenic, so it helps you burn extra calories. And then as far as protein, you know, I stick with the Syntha 6. And, you know, I mean, these are supplements that I use, okay? I recommend these, recommend you guys taking them, but, you know, protein is protein. Make sure you're hitting your macros every single day, and you'll reach your goals. If you don't know what your macros are, then you're definitely not gonna reach your goal because you don't even know what you're putting in your body. You know, I answer questions on the Facebook community page where you guys say things like, oh, you know, I'm eating lots of meats and veggies, so I guess I'm kind of hitting my macros for the day. Well, if you don't know concrete numbers for protein, carbs, fat, and calories, how can you be sure that you are, you know? So, it's starting to rain a little bit. I'm dripping sweat right now. You know, actually, you know what I want to do? What do you guys listen to on your iPod? I was just running, and I know I posted a link to my iPod playlist. I have a playlist on ScottHermanFitness.com. If you go to the website and you go to extras, it says my iPod playlist. And some of you guys are making fun of my choices for R&B because I had some songs that were really old, so I'm updating that. It should be updated this week. But I downloaded a lot of sweet rock songs, and I was listening to them when I run. And I don't know about you guys, but running just, it helps me clear my mind. You know, if I have a lot of stuff in my mind or if I'm just kind of in a mood, running kind of gets it out of me. And I think it's just about the kind of things I think about when I run. I don't know what you guys think about, but it's like I do this path, and it seems like on my way to my first checkpoint for where I turn around, you know, I think about crazy stuff like I'm about to be running, you know, listening to my music, and what if like an alien spaceship like dropped down in front of me and like aliens came out guns blazing? Would I be able to like save everyone and save myself? And that stuff like just kind of gets me pumped up, and I run pretty hard, and I just think about all these crazy scenarios. And on the way back, it's like my mind's clear, and then I start coming up with ideas of how I want to do videos and things I want to talk about. So running really helps me. It's pretty good. But overall, like I said, I wanted to share my routine with you guys. So I probably danced around the subject enough. My routine right now, I'm going to the gym. I'm hitting 1 to 2 muscle groups a day. I'm working more towards muscle gain, but I'm watching my calories. I'm only going in a surplus of like 250 calories a day. I weigh about 175 pounds. My protein is pretty high. It's between 200 210 grams a day. My carbs are closer to 350 to 400, and my fat varies between like 80 to 90. And what I basically do is I kind of stay in these ranges depending on how active I am that day. Obviously, you want to try and hit your macros every day, but if you're not as active, you know, it's not going to kill you if you don't, you know, hit that exact number. So, like this week, you know, I went to the gym on Monday, and I've been doing legs on Monday. And I'm actually filming that routine tonight for you guys to finish off the hypertrophy muscle gain routines that I promised you. It's going to be really cool. So, you know, I do legs, do squats, front squats, squats, back squats, RDLs, extensions, curls, calves, and a couple other things. On Tuesdays, I go to the gym, I hit chest pretty hard, I hit abdominals. I'm typically doing 3 sets of 10 reps per exercise with any exercise that I'm doing. What I do sometimes is I'll do 2 sets of 10 reps, just like a 1-1-1 tempo. Then on that 3rd set on each exercise, I'm doing a strict 2-2-4, just to kind of switch things up a bit. Or sometimes, like this week for chest, I actually did 4 sets for my flat bench. I did 3 sets with 1-1-1 tempo, then my last set with 2-2-4. They did the same exact thing on my incline and then on my chest flies that I did. On Wednesdays, I do back, and I hammer back and abs pretty hardcore. And I split the abs up. I know some people say that you don't really have to do that, but what I like to do is focus on like upper and lower abs one day, then like lower stuff and obliques the next. I take a day off, then I repeat the cycle. On Thursdays, I've been attacking arms pretty hard, but I even changed the way I'm doing that. Instead of focusing so much on curls, I'm starting to do more chin-ups for arms to kind of work on the size, hitting the same rep ranges and tempos, only doing like 2 exercises for biceps, 2 for triceps. Sometimes I'll kind of superset them, and I'll do, you know, a bicep, then a tricep, then a bicep, and a tricep again. So I mean, there's all different ways to train, as long as you stick to the core of what sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is, which is 8 to 12 reps per set with the 2-2-4 tempo, then you'll hit those gains as long as you also have your meal plan in place too. So am I forgetting anything? Oh, shoulders is usually a day on itself. What I've been doing lately is combining my shoulder workout and doing pull-ups in between, just to kind of hit my back harder. And plus I want to get better at doing pull-ups, so I just involve that exercise. Because, you know, like many of you, doing a lot of pull-ups in a row can get pretty tiring. I want to be able to do, you know, 20 to 30 no problem. So that's pretty much it. I've rambled long enough for you guys. I need to go in the house and shower and go take care of some errands, and I do feel some raindrops, so I gotta get out of here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this SHF vlog. You know, I kind of like doing this live stuff, you know, just coming in from a run and chatting with you guys, and I'm probably speaking a mile a minute. So for those of you who are out of this country and have a hard time understanding English, I'm probably speaking too fast, so I will try my best to slow it down. I'll see you guys later.